Hey everyone, Matt Gates here with my man Tommy Nichols. Check out Blue Collar Voice.
Hey, it's Stan Nichols. Be sure to check out Blue Collar Boys.
From the school district, Dr. Karen Barber, Elizabeth Huey, Linda Sanborn. We have a representative here from Gulf Breeze. I did not get your name.
Mayor Finch.
Mayor? Good, glad you're here. Sorry we didn't get your name. Mayor Finch? Representative from the town of Jay, Mayor Sean Owens, and Eric Siegel. I'm sorry. City of Milton dignitaries, Mayor Heather Lindsay, Councilman Snow, Councilman Powell, Councilman Leach, Councilman Compton, Councilwoman Sherry Sebasco, I'm sorry, Sherry. Councilwoman Leach, and Councilman Jerry. Here's the City of Milton. City Manager Randy Jorgensen, Don Carlino, Clerk, Ed Spears, Director of Economic Development, Stephen Priester, I'm sorry again, Director of Public Relations and Marketing, and Jay Conrad, Interim Public Information Officer. Thank you, City of Milton, for coming out today, and thank you for having a courthouse in downtown. Sam Marshall Architects, David Alsop. Your name wasn't on here, David. David's done a lot for getting this building done and continues to do so to get all the finishing touches. Santa Rosa County Clerk of Courts, Donald Spencer. We'll be hearing from Donald in just a moment. Tax Collector, Stan Nichols. I had to tell everybody not to boo when I said tax. Commissioner Sam Parker, District 1. Commissioner James Calkins, District 3. Commissioner Dave Peach, District 4. Commissioner Colton Wright, District 5. These are 4 gentlemen that I have the privilege of working with every day for our county. And I appreciate everything they do and how we work collectively. You know, we've butt heads a couple times. That's what it's all about. County Attorney, now not the former judge, but the new county attorney, Tom Danheiser. County Administrator, Devan Cook. Mr. Administrator, Brad Baker, and all the other county staff that have helped make this possible and will continue to maintain this building. They're the ones who do the heavy lifting for the general public in Santa Rosa County and our citizens. And anything that looks good, commissioners take credit for. Anything that looks bad, we blame those staffs. I learned that after 20 years of nothing else. All right, I'm going to turn it over now to a good friend of mine, fellow colleague when I first got on this board, and now one of our judges here in the county. Just an upstanding guy. And I can't say enough good about my friend Robert Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gosh, it is great to be here with all of you today. It's so wonderful to see everybody. I don't get to see all of you so much. The thing about judges in courthouses is they don't let us out of the building very often. Now, when I was a county commissioner, but the job was to be out in the field, and I enjoyed that. But our job here is to be in this building to serve you. And I want to tell you that it is a real honor and a privilege to be with you today on this momentous occasion. I have a brief recollection, a word of thanks, and a promise for you. Look at your programs. You've got the history of the Santa Rosa County Courthouse on the back of those programs. And looking at that history, that long, long history, my nearly 30 years in the current courthouse seems just a snapshot. As an attorney, I remember in the old courthouse when they kept the doors on the east and west wings propped open so that the breezes coming off the Blackwater River could flow through and so the people could come and go as they please. Not that way now. As a judge, I remember passing lawyers, litigants, citizens, and open hallways on the way to the courthouse, on the way to the courtroom. That's not the way that it goes in most courthouses these days, and it won't be the way that it goes in this courthouse either. Passing those people in the courthouse makes our excellent court security staff, deputies, pretty nervous, but I like it. I like seeing the people. And I want to tell you about something else that happened in our old Santa Rosa County Courthouse that changed the way the entire state judiciary operates in the state of Florida and ended up helping us. The fact that we put in place this paperless model.
Speech down to about a page. Try to get everyone through here as quickly as we can. I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. It's been a long process for us to finally get to this point. Santa Rosa County has built a beautiful new courthouse that will meet the needs of this county for decades to come. When a traveler comes into Milton from the interstate and comes down Avalon Boulevard and sees this courthouse, they will say, look at that beautiful building, and have a very positive opinion of Milton and Santa Rosa County. It will be a pillar for Santa Rosa County and Milton for decades to come. The old courthouse was used for almost 100 years, and this new courthouse will last at least that long. I want to thank the county commissioners who worked diligently to get this courthouse built. The former county administrator, Dan Sheba, for figuring out the finances of this building, which if had not been done, we would still be looking at years more in the old worn-out building, which is not meeting our needs. Current county administrator Dan Cook picked up the ball and took charge after Dan left, and David Alsop was Sam Marshall architect for building the building. We look forward to getting in this new building and bringing it to life. The new courthouse will be a pride for our county. I want to thank the citizens of Santa Rosa County for having the pride in this new building. It's been an honor to serve you for the last 10 years. And thank y'all, and welcome to this new building.
Next speaker is the commissioner that this new building is in his district, Sam Parker. And let's just all pray that he don't start out with, I'll keep it short.
Seriously.
Actually, because of Commissioner Cole's comments, I'll lead off with, it's an exciting day this was unscripted, exciting day to bring hundreds of new jobs to District 1. But I used to tease with Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Salter about that after we made the decision to move it here, but frankly, since we're all elected at large, it is an irrelevant point, but we are thankful to have the courthouse over here. I want to say thank you to everyone that took time out of your day to come here today. We know without a doubt the most important and valuable thing we all have is time, because no matter how hard you want to or how hard you pray, you can't get your time back. And so thank you for being here to help us celebrate this day. I'm overwhelmed with emotion and memories as I looked around the crowd sitting here. You know, everything from former teachers like Mrs. Sanborn, Chris and Philip, guys that I used to work with at the sheriff's office, you know, former school resource officers, former elected officials. It just makes you swell up with memories, and one of the ones everybody talks about, the former courthouse, and quite frankly, it is such an honor to have Judge Ken Bell here. For those of you that don't know, not only was he a judge in Santa Rosa County when I was a child, but he also served on the Florida Supreme Court. And when my mom and dad went through their divorce and my dad had to get somebody to help with childcare after school, I would go to that old courthouse in downtown Milton. And I remember Judge Bell would wrestle with me on the floor, hold me down and tickle me. And so to say that I have the fondest of memories of the courthouse, I think is an accurate statement. And, you know, when I ran for office, you have the opportunity to go out and talk with a lot of people. And I wouldn't have the privilege to stand here in front of you today if really that journey had not started with Representative J.R. Williamson telling me, you know, go out here and talk with folks and knock on their door and hear what their issues are. And overwhelmingly, the number one issue that I heard from talking with people when I decided to run for office, it wasn't why I ran for office, wasn't because of the courthouse, it was because, frankly, my main issue was I thought we needed roads and I thought we needed more activities for children. The number one issue I heard from people was, what are we going to do about the courthouse? And it was clear that it was on the forefront of many people's minds, and it reminds me of what I heard Pastor Godfrey say one time about persevere. When I got elected, and I'm so thankful for Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Don Salter, our former commissioner, because when I got elected, I knew this was an issue, and so I actually told these guys, I said, I'm just going to keep putting it on every agenda until we get a new courthouse. And I think at the time they were thinking, golly, look at this, we got this young buck in here, and now here we are 6 years later, and we're cutting the ribbon on this courthouse. And Commissioner Salter and Commissioner Cole were the two gentlemen that stepped out on that ledge with me, and it was a very controversial vote. It was controversial politically, and there were a lot of people that told me, they said, you know, this will cost you from being reelected to vote for this. But the three of us voted to move forward with this process and voted to build this courthouse. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm thankful that I recognize God put me here for a season. It wasn't to try to prolong my political career, but it was to move projects forward. And I'm so thankful that now when folks decide to run for political office to improve our community, they're not going to have to sit there and have people asking, where should the courthouse be? That's a mute issue now. Now we have a courthouse. And, you know, I want to say one last special thanks. And again, I can't thank Commissioner Cole and Commissioner Salter enough, because, quite frankly, without those two men taking the courage to put their political aspirations on the line to make a controversial vote, we wouldn't have this courthouse. But I really want to thank so much the men and women that we have here from our sheriff's office, and we've got some other, even some of our federal and state law enforcement officers here. You know, I shared with you childhood memories about Judge Kim Bell, but, you know, I spent almost 10 years of my life wearing a uniform and had to go into the Escambia County Courthouse to testify quite a few times. And I can tell you that the work these men and women do, you know, everybody says, hey, you can't pay them enough, or we're thankful for them. Well, at the end of the day, it culminates a lot of times into this courthouse. And I think this building, not only for the judges, but also for our men and women of law enforcement, I think this shows them that, hey, we care about the job you do. They're on the forefront. They're the ones that are dealing with the criminals. They're the ones that are out there writing the citations that line up for people to come up here. And now I think they've got a building that not only they can operate in, but they can also be proud to come here. And so I just want to say a special thanks, especially for those of you guys that I've had the opportunity to work with before. And thank you again so much to the citizens of Santa Rosa County. And it is just a joyous occasion, and thank you all for coming.
I'm privileged now of doing the closing remarks, and I'm not going to tell you I'll keep it brief. I did tell you that it was something that I appreciate all the speakers, because you brought it all home. Before I read my closing remarks, I'd like to read a letter from a judge who could not be here today. Several months ago, I met a gentleman in a parking lot at a flea market in Shipley. This gentleman turned out to be Judge Wells, who was from the Wells family down in the bar. So I have a copy of the letter that the judge took the time to handwrite to me a couple days before his 95th birthday. In that parking lot that day, I told him about this ribbon cutting, and certainly told him I'd want for him to be there after I learned who he was. July 26, 2022. Greetings, Commissioner Cole. Not just Commissioner Cole, but Commissioner Robert A. Bob Cole. Thanks for the dedication to the ceremony of the new Santa Rosa County Courthouse on August 17th. 1 week from this date, I will reach my 95th birthday. I delight in making the event, but find it more expedient to stay close to home. Give my regards to Judge Coley Nichols, whom I have known back on our days as probation officers. We were also county judges at the same time. My Wells kin in Santa Rosa County is best known by me with my cousin Leroy Wells and wife Judy, my late brother Judge Clyde B. Wells and his son Judge Kevin B. Wells represents all the kin in your area. I regret that I will be unable to attend this milestone event in your county. Hopefully I can visit the beautiful county courthouse at a later time. Sincerely, Harry E. Wells. The original copy, thank you. The original copy of this letter is going in our time capsule. My closing remarks, it's somewhat hard to perceive how 20 years have passed. When I first got elected to the board, I immediately began teaming up with my fellow commissioners on what was then an idea to replace an aging Santa Rosa County courthouse. Of course, we all know that that idea failed due to the referendum that was placed before the people in Santa Rosa County on an issue of how to pay for a new courthouse construction. As the years passed, the conditions of the existing courthouse continued to deteriorate. Boards of county commissioners continued to change. There was no new courthouse on the horizon. However, two things had not changed. The need for a county courthouse to replace the existing courthouse with a new and modern judicial facility, one would long serve the citizens of Santa Rosa County judiciary branch of government far into the next generations. Commissioner Don Sullivan and myself continued to recognize that need, replacing that conversation on agendas time after time as years passed. And I thank Commissioner Parker for stepping up to the plate. Finally, after years of debate and decision, the decision was made to purchase property that we're now standing on, and I want to pass on my personal thanks to Commissioner Parker for being that third party that he took his knowledge of real estate and his bravery of putting his future on the line and stepped up to the plate to be that third vote we needed to buy this property. A piece of property that was bought thousands less than the appraised value. Later, we worked on a funding mechanism, and I want to thank Dan Schebler and Jane Nichols for working on that, and along with other staff, because they brought it back to the Board of County Commissioners, how we could do this. A construction team was chosen to take on a task. Oh yes, there was spirited discussions about the location, how to pay for it, and why do we need it? I think you've heard from previous speakers exactly why we need this facility. I'm here to say the property is a valuable commodity for Santa Rosa County. In a location that will equally serve all our residents and have space to grow. The building was constructed in a means to save tax dollars and build at the right time. Can you imagine what it would cost to break ground today at today's inflated prices to build this facility?
Crazy.
Waiting to provide our judiciary branch with a safe, healthy, and up-to-date facility was never an option. I know in my heart the Board of County Commissioners made the right choice for the future of this great county. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Santa Rosa County Board of County Commissioners and our citizens of this county, I present to you the new Santa Rosa County Courthouse. May God bless this endeavor. May God bless
What's going on, guys? Tommy Nichols here with Mr. Dave Peach. Got a couple of things I want to ask you, Dave. Sure. You got these questions, Portsmouth citizens, like you know how we do it.
Love it.
Number one, how come the state prosecutor and public defender's offices were not incorporated in this judicial center? Did anyone approach the state on partial funding to accomplish this design?
So the plan is this property was bought with purpose.
Right.
This is just the first building of at least 3 that
Okay.
will total be here.
Gotcha.
And this was built to be able to expand and add those facilities to bring in the state's attorney and things like that. So with the cost of construction and getting this first building done, it was important to get the courts and everything
Right.
in here first. And then all those supplemental offices are going to come in as we expand this campus. So it was purpose built.
Right.
And,
All right.
and those are on the horizon.
All right, awesome, man. All right, one more for you. Will inmates be transported here to stand with legal representation, or will they be present via state-of-the-art video conferencing? And I have one quick follow-up after you answer
Yeah,
that one.
no problem. This facility was purpose-built to bring the convicted folks here for court.
Okay.
As you heard in the opening remarks, the current courthouse, the inmates and everything walk the same halls as the witnesses and the judges and things like that. So this facility was
Made for some
specific.
interesting times. I've
Yes,
had.
specifically built so that the inmates are brought in through the back in a separate sally port, all secure. They're brought up to the courtrooms in a secure. They will never see the judges. They will never see the general public until they get into that court.
Okay, good stuff.
You've jeopardized my freedom, my natural place to root. I can fly when I have